7-5 after 2 rotations. Let's welcome in the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, John Court. Good rotation for your team there. Where do you feel like you are right now?
I'm feeling pretty good right now. The team is feeling really good. We came out on bars. We really had to bear down over there, counting an uncharacteristic ball from Serena. The team did a really good job. We did 5 really competitive routines. Went over to vaulting, and we knew that we had to be big in the air. We had to dial in on some landings. We did that. We stuck 3 out of 6. It's a season high. It looks like a season high score on vaulting. A few career highs too. So that's a great start to the meet. 98 and low 98s and change. And I always say for us, it's Arizona against Arizona, and we got about 13 more routines left we have to do. 14 with exhibitions. So I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Can you talk about Malia Hargrove over on bars? She comes in after Serena's fall and then should have gone 10 on vault there. Can you talk about where she's so far?
I'm glad you agree with me on that. I'm glad you agree with me on that. It was a great vault for her. She executed it at a very, very high level, and I can't ask for anything more. You know, I can't ask for anything more than what she just did. So she has two more events, and her vault was definitely better than her bars. That's for sure. So she's in her groove right now. Feeling good.
Well, John, you come from a great heritage, and you learned a lot from your mom, didn't you?
I did. If she was here, she'd probably tell me to wear a tie and probably stick 6 vaults, not just 3.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck the rest of the meet.
All right, go Cats, bear down.
All right, that's John Court, head coach of the Wildcats. His mom, Jackie Court, the late Jackie Court, was a coach at Brown University for 33 years. She was the first woman of color to coach in college gymnastics and the first woman of color to coach any sport at Brown University. And she fought a landmark legal battle for gender equity in college sports in the early 1990s that changed the landscape of sports for all women, all the while remaining classy and upbeat. She'd set up and take down her own gym. She'd sew the leotards at a time when teams had very few resources. She did everything.
And is really such a trailblazer and looked at as just a coach. She's truly a Hall of Fame coach in every sense of the word. Is the first black coach in NCAA gymnastics, and so the coaches that have followed in her footsteps really looked at her as the trailblazer that she is, and just inducted posthumously into the Hall of Fame. And John mentioned he was out at Brown and accepting on her behalf in October. A really special moment for him.
Yep. He gave the acceptance speech. Began his coaching career as an assistant for his mom at Brown. Now in his 24th year with the Gym Cats and his 5th as the head coach. We've got 2 rotations in the books, and the beads will head to the beam and the Cats to the floor when we come back. That is because of a great vault by Malia Hargrove. We had one perfect 10 for the Beavers and Jade Carey, and this one could have been.
I really think it should have been this Yurchenko 1.5. So difficult. Forward landing shows excellent control. Form in the air. Really can't do it better than that. Really phenomenal day so far for Malia Hargrove.
Is that just that the judges are fearful of giving out too many of them?
They shouldn't be. They should reward what they see without any consideration to who came before or after. I could see one judge saying she was a tiny bit under-rotated. Her lunge, or her control on the landing maybe would have a little bit low, but that's being super nitpicky. And the way scores are thrown around in the rest of the country would have really liked to see her rewarded for that vault today.
So she missed it by the slimmest of margins, 1/4 of a tenth. Oregon State will be on beam to begin the 3rd rotation. Christina Peterson. We'll also see her later on floor. Peterson has led off every beam lineup this year with a career high 9.95 3 weeks ago. Last week I was here to call the Oregon State USC men's basketball game, and I ran into Christina at the Dutch Bros across the street. I asked her, what's the secret to a good beam routine? She said, all the people who are successful at it love it.
And you could see she had a big smile on her face, and does. She has such calmness. She's a savvy veteran. This is her 5th year. And truly there's no one that Tanya Chaplin would rather have in this position, coming off of a rough bar rotation. With a triple series like that, just an excellent display of athleticism and control. That full turn is a required element, can sometimes be one of the trickiest, even though Now it looks simple. I dare you to try that just on your kitchen floor and try to stay on a line, let alone on the beam.
A 4-inch beam. Peterson in her 5th year with Oregon State.
That's her other difficult connection. That switch side to a straddle jump. She'll do a gainer back pike off the end and nail the landing. What a start for this Beaver beam lineup. They're ranked 4th in the country for a reason.
Same 6 gymnasts in the same order all year, starting it off with Christina Peterson.
This is her tumbling pass. She does 3 moves in a row, which you don't have to. You only need to do 2. Tumbles the length of the beam. She's very short, but she needed all 16 feet to fit that in, and then that gainer off the end to run forward and flip back like that. Really scary and beautifully done.
There are no D scores in college gymnastics, no difficulty scores. Why do 3 when you only have to do 2?
Exactly. It's just to show that you can and really differentiate yourself and show the judges that your difficulty can be done so well that you don't need to water it down.
All right. Elizabeth LaRusso had a 9.8 on bars, a 9.85 on vault. Final time we'll see her today. Our first look at anybody on a floor routine, always one of my favorites. Had a 9.8 last week at home against UW.
She'll do a punch, front double twist. Good height, that's an E element. Gives her 2/10 a bonus. Those leaps, really important. You need to complete that second one 360 degrees. I would say she cheated it just a little bit out of the leap that came into it.
Performance, a big part of floor and beam. Russo graduated high school a year early in Las Vegas to join the Wildcats. Her club team in Vegas, maybe it was written in the stars that she'd come here, is the Gymcats.
There's her combination pass, just a little bit low. And that 1.5 for layout, so we'll get a deduction for under rotation. She'll do another front move here, 1.5 twists, well landed. A fun routine and a nice start for the Gymcats.
Elizabeth LaRusso, sophomore from Vegas. Christina Peterson had a 9.875. And now Jenna Domingo, a beam specialist, has gone second in the beam lineup in each meet this year. 4 9.85s, 2 9.9s.
She starts a really difficult combination here. 2 flips in a row, front aerial right into a back pike. Excellent. It's really important to make that connection smooth and quick between the 2 elements.
The hometown of Kapolei is on Oahu, west of Honolulu. Back from concussion a couple of years ago to be a regular in the beam lineup last year.
Love how she shows her flexibility there. That actually counts as an element in her routine. The judges missed that at the UCLA meet. There was that conference that gave the Beavers the tie. It was about that split.
Wow. Elegant element at that.
She'll connect 3 leaps here in a row. The last one, that twisting element, is very challenging to land sideways. Because again, you can't see the beam.
Elisa, it's all challenging.
That's a great point. Loser gainer full off the side, nails it. This beam squat for Oregon State is so impressive.
Jenna Domingo, senior from Hawaii.
These 2 elements of her flight series, only one of them actually has to have flight, have no hands on the beam, but she does 2. Makes it so easy, that front to back. Just a really impressive combination of the athleticism and the flexibility and the grace. I think it's a really beautiful routine.
9-8 for LaRusso, her second consecutive 9-8 on floor. And now Jessica Castles, junior from England, grew up in the Middle East. Has performed a pair of floor routines this year in weeks 2 and 3, a high of 9.875 in week 2.
Just a beautiful and elegant dancer. She combines that with some difficult tumbling. This first pass will be a back with 2.5 twists to a punch front, very intricate. Has to get the timing right, and you don't have to stick on floor, but she did, showing great control.
Was back in 2 lineups last week after not performing in any a couple of weeks ago. First time this year she's missed it, and she was sick, and her dad had flown to the U.S. from England to watch her. He went to Stanford, but she didn't. Thankfully, he was able to watch her last week, and he's here this week.
Another difficult tumbling pass here. She'll conclude with a double pike. She gets a 10th of bonus for doing this difficulty at the end. Takes a lot of stamina. And just a slight under rotation. Takes the step forward. But a really beautiful routine from Jessica Castles.
Let's have a look at her first pass. Just a 2-pass routine. More and more college gymnasts are doing that. 3 is not a requirement.
She gets a lot of bonus from this 2.5 twists, and then the punch front. The legs were a little bit crossed on the twist. The flip was a tiny bit low, but nails it. That's all the judges want.
That gets to don the glasses.
Like to see what different teams do to reward and acknowledge those sticks.
And a 9.925 for Domingo, matching her career high. And now Lauren Letch, 9.825 on vault. Now third in every beam lineup this year. Scores have consistently gone up. First 3 weeks a 9.825, then a 9.85, 2 9.875s, and last week a career high 9.9.
She'll do a very similar, supposed to do a very similar connection to Jenna Domingo. She'll do the front aerial, the back tuck. And so she needs to repeat it because it's a special requirement. So super challenging to get up and do it again, and nails it. So she'll have a 5/10 deduction for the fall.
Beaver's already had to count a fall on bars, their 3rd fall of the meet, and a rare miss on beam.
They have been so solid on beam. That lead combination very difficult when she takes her eyes off the beam, throws her head back.
Lauren Letch, a hard worker, oftentimes the first one in the gym, the last one out.
Dismount off the end of the beam here, swing through, gainer front fall, sticks the landing. That'll be the one that they want to drop. That's her first fall of the season on beam.
Jessica Castles, 9.775. And now Emily Muller has a pair of 9.75s earlier in the meet. Bars and vault. Career high tying 9.9 on floor last week. She had also done that last year against Oregon State.
A lot of energy in this routine and 3 big tumbling passes. Opens with a double pike. Excellent height and a nice landing.
Emily was a bit of a late bloomer in gymnastics. The Wildcats were recruiting her as a sophomore in high school when she was carting 36s, and others didn't have their eye on her. And by the time she was a senior, she was posting 38s, and she made them look very smart.
She'll do the same tumbling pass we saw from LaRusso, the 1.5 to a front layout. Got to get the right punch in between them. Nicely landed. These floor routines are choreographed by assistant coach Taylor Spears and also by volunteer assistant Kylie Cratchwell. Competed at University of New Hampshire.
Wildcats without Libby Orman on floor. She's nursing a bruise. Out of the floor lineup for the second straight week after not missing any since her sophomore year 2 years ago.
Double tuck to close. Great height and a phenomenal landing. Good control. Really fun, powerful routine for Emily Muller.
Let's have a look at the 2 tumbling passes.
So this first pass, double pike, most difficult element she'll do. It's important on the landing to really control and show the judges that you know where you are. Same thing on that front pass. Really intricate front to back to front connection there.
(9.35) for Lauren Lech. So again, they want to put a red line through that. Sydney Gonzalez, Maddie Dagan, Jade Carey. You get 6 gymnasts in each rotation. You count the 5 best scores.
We'll see a third front aerial to back tuck connection here. Nicely done. The judges we'll see what they do with the connection there. She had a little bit of a hesitation. It's her full turn. Gorgeous flexibility shown there. No extra points for that. Just shows her control, elegance.
Career high 9.95 for Gonzalez a couple of weeks ago.
Excellent side aerial. Changed around her routine composition a few weeks ago for this leap series. Nicely done. Just has her dismount. She'll go right off the end here like we saw from Lauren Lech. Front full, nails it. Wow, excellent job to come back after Lauren Lech fall. Sydney Gonzalez is really special on me.
(9.875) for Emily Muller, quarter of a tenth off of her career high. And now, here is our lone look at Jordan Schultz, the freshman from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Her mom, Mary, was a gymnast at Ball State, and now Jordan, a gymnast for Arizona. Last week at home, her first ever collegiate routine on any apparatus, posted a 9.7 on floor.
She'll do a tough connection here. 2 twists to a punch front. Nicely done.
Yeah.
It's a little bit under-rotated in between, but you couldn't tell.
Won both floor and beam at the 2021 Wisconsin State Championship. Another gymnast with a 2-pass routine.
Love that seat drop she does.
Has an identical twin sister, Heidi, in her freshman year as a gymnast at Kent State University.
Last week, one of her leaps was devalued, so her start value was low. I know they worked hard on that this week to ensure she gets the credit.
Final tumbling pass for Jordan Schultz.
Front 1.5. A little bit low and a tiny hop back there. But in just her second meet on the floor, great improvement for Jordan Schultz.
Got a 9.7 in her first go-round last week. Bright future, Jordan Schultz from Wisconsin. 9.925 for Sydney Gonzalez. And now here is Maddie Dagan. Got a 9.825 on vault. Not doing bars, sore shoulder. So she's in 3 lineups. She's done it all around 3 times this year.
She'll do a back handspring layout series here. Very well done. Her leap series here. 2 in a row. Well done. That back leg, I'd like a little bit higher. Your leap needs to be 180 degrees, which means you need to actually go over for the judges to really see that 180. She'll go down the length of the beam for her dismount, round off to a 1.5 twist. Tries to hold on to the landing. We call that a college stick when she doesn't quite hold it long enough and show the control. But turns to the judges to show off that great routine so far. Here's the back handspring layout. Excellent form. Nice straight legs and pointed toes. And then there's the dismount. You know, they could give it to her. I guess in slow-mo, it looks like she has a little bit more control than live. Looks like
985.
Yeah, there was a big split between the two judges. Actually,
For Schultz or for Dagan?
sorry for digging. One of the score was raised incorrectly, and the Beavers fans let her know about it.
A 985 for Schultz, by the way, in the previous floor routine was a career high by 0.15. And now here is Caroline Harry. 9-9 last week at home against Washington. Had a breakout year last year.
That's great tumbling, big double tuck. Good height, a little bit of a hop back. Her tumbling rises really well. You'll see another one of those. She'll end her routine with a double pike. Good precision on the leaps.
Her head coach, John Ford, talks about how meticulous Caroline is in everything. Her prep for her competitions, for her schoolwork.
Here's her 1.5. Front layout, beautifully done.
Caroline Harry.
It's a double pike, tumbling into the corner. Libby Orman is cheering her on. She'll tumble right into her. Excellent job, just a tiny bit of her chest down. So when you land a double pike like that, you can take a step backwards and there'll be no deduction, but since she took a step forward, there will be a slight one. So here's these two. She'll do a 1.5. Good height on that, and also good control on the front layout. And then this double pike is where, when she lands, the judges want her to step backwards instead of stepping forwards, because that indicates that she just had a little bit of under rotation.
Caroline Harry, we will also see her on beam. 9.925 for Maddie Dagan. That's a quarter of a tenth off her career high. Here's Jane Carey at a 10 on vault and a 9.9 on bars.
This is the one event where she's not yet scored a 10. And she has multiple different versions of this routine that she can do. And she decides in real time which one she's going to do. Coach Chaplin said that's great preparation for her elite career, where she has many of these elements that she'll also perform. Gorgeous front aerial into the straddle. So she did that connection. Her flight series will just be two elements here, the back handspring to a layout.
Her elite gymnastics career is not over. She's training for Paris in 2024.
Excellent control.
Olympic gold on floor in Tokyo. Jade Carey.
That leap series, sometimes she interchanges with that switch half, but does the side leap there. Shows such poise and ease on this event. Such a nice foil to the power that she shows. Command of these elements like this flight series, not a waver, and then this gainer full off the side, beautifully done, maybe just a tiny bit of leg separation.
Career high 9.975 3 weeks ago.
That's what it's going to be again today.
One judge with a 10, one with a 9.95. She matches her career high. 9.975 for Jade Carey.
The crowd expressing their frustration, and that's Beaver legend Maddie Rodriguez holding up that sign for Jade Carey. It's alumni night here. Lots of Beaver fans excited about that.
9.85 for Caroline Harry, and now our final gymnast in rotation 3, Malia Hargrove. Career high 9.925 on floor last week at home against Washington.
Watch this full twist on her double back. So difficult. Excellent job and good control.
Malia Hargrove from Sparks, Nevada. She came to Gymcats camp in Tucson when she was 13 years old. And she has stayed loyal to Arizona ever since. Now a senior.
With half front full, excellent landing.
Already had a 9.975 on vault, a 9.725 on bars.
Just a double tuck left. See if she can hone in on the landing. Wow, the height on that. The second somersault was actually higher than the first one, which led her to be able to just nail that landing. And she's excited about that, as she should be.
What a fantastic gymnast, Malia Hargrove. Here's her first tumbling pass.
So this one has a full twist on the first somersault, beautifully landed. And then her last pass, she does without the full twist, just 2 flips in the air. So easy, great control on the landing.
We have 3 rotations in the books. The Beavers will head to the floor and the Wildcats to the beam when we come back to Corvallis.